Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Ratish.
Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah. How are you? How are you?
Ma'am,
Very
I'm
good
doing
morning,
well.
Ratish.
Thank you.
We're not able to see your video. We're not able to see your video. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just texted message to Dr. Jaisla.
Okay.
I think she will join us.
Okay.
That's what we're waiting for. Maybe if she joins, that will be good. Otherwise, we can. Shall we wait for 1 or 2 minutes?
Yeah. Sure.
Yes. Cases are reducing now. COVID. How about the COVID cases over there?
Ma'am, COVID, we have as of today morning census, it's around 285.
Oh.
Plus out
Some
of
network,
them, 82 are ICU.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Ma'am, we have around 280 plus cases admitted in the hospital as of today morning. Out of that, 82 is in the ICU and 67 on ventilators. And on the one side, COVID cases are coming down, but the other side, mucormycosis cases are increasing. We have around 100 cases now. And three of them are very serious. We have a separate mucor ICU where three of them are very serious. I don't think they'll make it. Because they came somewhere towards the end stage of mucor and it's already the CT brain is showing complete mucor affected. So I don't think they'll make it because all three of them not very old, not very old in their late 50s probably.
Oh. Okay. Shall I speak to Dr. Jaisla now? I'll get back.
Okay. Sure. I'll be here. Okay.
I think we are not able to get her on the line. Neither she has seen our, noticed our WhatsApp message. We'll start the day. Welcome, Dr. Ratish. Onisha, proceed, please.
Yes. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. And good morning, my dear students. I am very glad to welcome you all to this guest lecture. And I am very much privileged to welcome the special guest speaker of the day, our resource person, Professor Ratish Nair, Principal, College of Nursing and Chief Nursing Officer, AIMS, Patna, Bihar, India. So Sir has completed his BSc Nursing at PSG College of Nursing. He belongs to our 1995 batch of alumni. He has completed his MSc Nursing in Psychiatric Nursing at University of Delhi, New Delhi, and Commonwealth Professional Fellow at Liverpool John Moores University, UK, and he's a fellow Royal Society for Public Health at UK, and Sir has received certificate in disaster preparedness, Columbia University, New York. And Sir has started his career as a tutor in nursing and held various postings and served as secretary in Indian Nursing Council, New Delhi for the period of 2018 to 2019. Currently, Sir is serving as Principal College of Nursing and Chief Nursing Officer, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Patna, Bihar, India. And Sir has been as Assistant Controller of Examination, and till date he is an Assistant Controller of Examination, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Patna, Bihar, India. And from 2014 to 2018, he was an Administrative Officer and Drawing and Disbursing Officer of AIMS, Patna, Bihar, India. And Sir has been as a member. He has a member editorial board of Journal of Advanced Nursing Practice, a reviewer in Sanders Comprehensive NCLEX RN, and life member in Nursing Research Society of India, life member in Trained Nurses Association of India, president of Trained Nurses Association of India, Bihar State Branch, 2014, and he has been from 2011 to 2013 as a president of Trained Nurses Association in the Haryana State Branch, and from 2011 to 2007 to 2011 as vice president TNA Haryana State Branch. And Sir has been as Indian Nursing Council approved master's dissertation and thesis supervisor for MSc nursing program since 2008, and Sir is a subject expert and curriculum expert Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, India. And Sir has published his book titled Psychiatric Nursing, and by Lippincott, Williams and Wilkins, and a master trainer for a global fund for AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, and training of nurses in HIV, AIDS and ART, and been as a resource person or trainer for more than 30 training programs at various states of India, and course coordinator for short-term courses for development of nursing services at Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, Chennai, Haryana State. Sir, we are very much glad to welcome you, sir, for this guest lecture, and the session is over, you, sir.
Thank you for such a vast introduction. I thought we have wasted a few minutes for reading out the entire resume. It's all right, fine. So I think the first year BSc nursing students, I hope all of them are here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm. Am I audible to all of you? Just one person can confirm, please.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you have joined nursing at a very crucial moment in the world history. Indeed, in the middle of a pandemic, you joined BSc nursing in the year of nurse and midwife, that is year 2020, which was to commemorate the birth bicentenary of Florence Nightingale, who is considered as the founder of modern nursing. But unfortunately, we were also have to deal with pandemic of COVID-19 in 2020, and the entire year has gone by, and this year again we have the second wave, and I'm sure you did not get much of an exposure at being a college student, one of the most beautiful part of your life. And I'm saying this because I have left the college I'm talking about BSc College of Nursing 20 years back, more than 20 years now. So I'm saying this because once you get out of the college, you will realize that was one of the most beautiful part of your life. So I just want to remind you what you are missing by sitting at home and attending online classes. So being the real student that you are, and in being in the college. So anyhow, and about coming back to the being a nurse and nursing itself. I'm not going to give you any bookish lecture of what is written and the definition of nursing or whatever it is. You might have had, being first year, you might have had 100 definitions of nursing by now, or by nursing foundations classes, and teachers might be giving you many definitions. So, and of course, since it was a year of nurse and midwife, Florence Nightingale also might have been referred to in so many classes of history of nursing, as well as many other classes. So, but one thing I just wanted to make it sure to all, even to my own students who are here, for undergraduate students, when we talk about Florence Nightingale, she's always been referred to as founder of modern nursing, but she is not just a founder of a modern nursing. She was much more than that. So there were many nurses at the time, but she of course had made radical changes to how nursing was done, and how nurses worked, and how nurses were educated, so many things. But apart from that, Florence Nightingale was a very dynamic person who had many things to do with, or not just nursing. She is considered as a social reformer. At the same time, who worked really hard to make many changes, how even women are treated in the society. And at the same time, she is also the founder of the branch of hospital administration, not just modern nursing. And she was an accomplished statistician who was the first female member of the Royal Statistical Society. So she is, of course, Florence Nightingale. So I'm just saying, because you have now enough amount of time sitting at home doing online searches, you should, one of the name which is being revered, you should start reading about the person. Why I'm saying it is not, nursing is not a very narrow passage. It's very wide, and the more, how much ever do you want to do, there is no restrictions at all. So that's about the person. So now coming back to nursing, which is the course which you have chosen, you might have chosen Let Us Be Real, and the reason why you might have chosen the course could be many. It could be many, and one of the most I used to ask almost all the batches we had here, and to them, if you ask what could be the reasons, there are many reasons. One thing is they have come on their own, they chose that as a career option. Of course, it may not be always the first option, but still you have many other options. You have the freedom to pick whatever you want to do. So the next is, another thing is, parents guided them, or it was a parent's preference to have you educated as a nurse. The third thing is, parent preference is, again, you can say it is attributed to one of the most striking feature of nursing profession as of today is, that's only profession, I think, with 100% employability as of now. And you will not find a single nurse who is sitting jobless at home, even if they wanted to work. There may be people who are sitting at home who doesn't want to work. That is another story. But people, a qualified nurse who wish to work, they will get job anywhere. So that is also one of the most important reasons. So I would like to congratulate you for your choice of career, and it is will come to how and why it is going to be significant, because when I came to the college, I think they said it as 1995 batch. It is not 1995, it was 1996. So I was a third batch who entered the college, and I came with a very blank mind, and the image of nursing, and I think first years, as you all have, once you may not, it will take some time to create an image of a nurse in your mind. I took some time to create that image and exactly understand what a nurse is and what exactly a nurse's work is. So there are so many things you could see, you could read. That time, in my time, there was no social media or Google And these days, even students depend more on Google than library, and those days were different. So for you, it is on your advantage that you should read up about nursing. And what exactly is, once you have an image or an idea of exactly what nursing is, I think you will be able to fix yourself to some of the options which are available. So that's about it. And talking about the qualities or how and why, there are so many answers, but a few of the things which I just want to stress is one of the most common feature, which I'm just talking this from practical experience. I'm not talking to you anything theoretically, because from the practical experience, one of the main thing which I understood all these years working in various fields, like maybe in private, in corporate, then in government, and government and administration, as well as working as a tutor and or a faculty. So one of the foremost thing is you have to develop a skill of communication and interpersonal relationships. Communication and interpersonal relationship is something which is, we all are not the same. People are different, and we have to build it upon, because communication skills and interpersonal relationship is something which is going to help you throughout your career. And because for you cannot work in isolation, you need allies to work with. And communication and interpersonal relationships, if you are able to maintain, half of your problems will be solved. So that is something which I just wanted to stress, because you have just entered the profession, and you are a first year student. So it is up to you how you modify yourself. I am sure the college teachers are going to do a very good job molding you, which they did, of course, to me. I never thought I will come out as I came out as a product of the college after 4 years. So they will do, but for you have to also do or take your own efforts in molding yourself as well, because everything teachers cannot do. You also have some self uh, work to do. So that is one thing: communication and interpersonal relationships. And another thing is a desire to learn. You have to have see, why I'm saying is, many of the things are available in textbooks, or you write an exam, and then you listen to teachers, you listen to many people. But at the same time, you have to take an initiative of learning yourself many things. I'm not talking exclusively about the subjects also being taught. There are many things. Even if you read about nursing itself, why don't you just read about nursing? Because right now you are a first year student, and you need to create an idea about what a nurse exactly is, and what is the status of nursing in various places around the world, not just in Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore, or even other states of India. And what is the condition of nursing in worldwide, the condition, and nobody stops you from reading that. So it has to be. And being a nurse, and another point is that is for you. But once you entered the profession, and I made it a point that you are updated often. It is, I'm not just talking about skill updation, otherwise also. What exactly happens around the world? Around you, maybe first to start with, then you can go around the world. But what else happening around you in your own institute, in other departments, or in the hospital, or in other places? What are other students doing? So you have to have a desire to learn how things are changing, and you should be uh, maybe you will be very quick to pick up some of the points which requires modification. So that is something. Then another thing is about flexibility. Flexibility is or maybe I'll call it as the ability to adjust, because hospital, college, these are places mostly 90% of the nurses work. And why I am saying these are very complex atmospheres, and there are so many factors involved. Unless you are flexible, and why I'm saying flexibility is, nurses, since we are all nurses, nurses have a bit of a problem with change, and we have that stubborn kind of thing, like this is how I used to do. But what is the problem in trying a new way? So there is something has to be flexible, and you have to. Why flexibility is also important is being. I said about communication like here. One of the things very important is you have to be a good listener most of the time. All the time you cannot keep talking. You have to listen sometime, and of course. It has to be a two-way communication, but the ability to listen is also something which is very vital. And while you make a point, at the same time you have to listen from what the other side have to say. So another thing is you have to be very what do you say? You have to be very reliable. Reliable in the sense, if suppose, for example, Madam Lina and I am working together somewhere, and we shared and a work which we both are supposed to do, and we have shared the work among ourselves, and I am not keeping or doing the job which I am expected to do, and because I am not doing it, her work is also getting affected because she is unable to complete it, because the both side has to complete it, then only it will be full. So the thing is you have to show some reliability, because the problem is if you are not going to be a reliable person along with being a team worker, finally it comes down to that, being a member of the team, how successful are you being a member of a team. They might have taught you again teamwork, and the healthcare team who are all involved. There may be many names which have been said, doctor, nurse, dietitian, physiotherapist, psychological counselor, so many things, and even the hospital sanitation workers. Many of these people are involved. But why I'm saying is, unless you are reliable, you will not be able to take the team forward, because it's almost all the time. Almost all the time, it's. I think. I think somebody's. They have to mute. Okay, so. It's almost all the time it's a nurse who is leading the team, and that is why your role is very, our role becomes very, and you have to have open-mindedness in the sense, what to say, you should not be judgmental. You should not be judgmental, and why being judgmental may not help is because once you are judging somebody based on some of your previous experience or whatever it is, but the problem is when you are dealing with a group of people, once you become judgmental, it is going to affect your decision making capacity. At the same time, the work is going to get affected, because you should not be having a preconceived notions or ideas in your mind while dealing with any of the group members. So that is one thing. And another is you need to have physical stamina to work as a nurse. Physical stamina in the sense you have to be healthy, and you have to have healthy habits. At the same time, you have to be physically fit, and plus, because nursing job is not a sedentary work, you have to eat well, you have to sleep well, at the same time you have to exercise well, and that is up to you, because nobody else is going to come and ask you to maintain yourself. So because this is not just for being a nurse, but in case of nurse, the job is more demanding. So you have to have a physical stamina and develop a physical stamina, so that you can endure the physical and mental strain which is going to come your way. So I think there was a break in the audio. No, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Now
it's
it's
fine.
okay. Now
It's fine. Now it's okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So we were about empathy, compassion, and other things which they might have taught you as in the nursing foundation. So empathy and compassion, once it comes to that, the first and foremost thing you should ask whether if once you are in the hospital, many times we all have, I go to the hospital almost every day, and I see many times some of the nurses, many, not everyone, very few people, if something is not being done which was reported, and when we being asked why it is not done, they might say it's we were busy and the ward got busy, and that's how this escaped our mind. It is not, it may not be a genuine, it could be a genuine error, it may not be intentional, but for what, it's always a nurse's job is to prioritize things, what exactly needs to be done first, rather than, see, of course, there may be chaos in the ward, there may be chaos in the hospital, because it is not a predictable atmosphere. If you're working in a casualty or emergency, anytime a number of cases may come to the casualty and emergency, and all your plans and prioritizing go for a toss within 2 minutes. So, but at the same time, if you are able to immediately, that's why I earlier said adaptability or flexibility, where you are able to flex yourself so that you are able to adjust yourself to the existing situation. So, and another thing is, which I found always people complaining about is, you have to understand there is a self-understanding or a self-esteem which we have to develop many times for nursing professionals. So even every nurse should have a proper self-esteem, and they have to do something like, many of the times, one very crucial mistake which has been made by nurses, what I have seen in not a very lengthy time, but in the past 20 years, which I have seen is, the nurses start comparing with the doctors, which is absolutely, I don't know what base is about that comparison of, if I start comparing myself with a doctor, or if suppose a physiotherapist start comparing himself or herself with you, and it is not a comparable place. A doctor is a doctor, a nurse is a nurse. They are a medical professional, you are a nursing professional. If why do you want to compare? Because it's like comparing potatoes with tomatoes. So there is no place for comparison, and your self-esteem or your self-respect doesn't depend on anybody else. That is one thing you have to mind. And because they have their job, you have your job, and there is absolutely no base for comparison of. A nurse doing a comparison with doctors and feeling bad if they are doing much better or if they are feeling bad, which means, of course, your happiness or your peace of mind is dependent on something else, which is beyond your control, of course, because it is somebody else and some other profession. It is not yours. So it is saying like, even if you want to compare yourself with somebody else, why not compare with another professional, maybe some lawyer or some engineer or somebody, because anyway you are going to compare yourself with somebody else. So that is not a healthy thing. You have to have a self-respect and self-image which you have to protect, that is of yourself, and it doesn't depend on anybody else or however happy other person feels. Like if you start feeling bad about other person being extremely happy, then I don't know, you, that is a very bad situation. So don't go into that. That is not at all acceptable. You have your own stature and your own image, and we need to protect and improve that. So, and another thing is about which, of course, nurses ka ek aur, there is one more thing which helps almost 100% of the nurses, or even any other people who have worked with a nurse will agree that nurses are one of the best organizers, and there is no doubt about it. And I think I have done organizing so many even national events, or even the convocation of aims, and most of the time I have been put in charge for organizing all these functions. So why I'm saying this is, there is an organization skill which will develop in you if it is not there already in the next 4 years time, and you have to have that skill, because that is one of the most essential skill which any nurse need, the skill of being an organizer or an organization skill. So that is something which you have to improve upon, which is, these are some of the positive things which I am just trying to tell you, because many of the times you have to let go the negative traits, which we all have negative traits. Don't tell me otherwise, because I have many negative traits which I myself am aware of. There may be some negative traits which I may not be aware of, but others may be. So you have to let go of some of your negative traits and add upon to your positive traits which you need, of course, for a successful career. So, and another thing is about being in a hospital or in any place wherever you work as a nurse. Many times it is very emotionally demanding place. Emotionally, because if suppose, for example, we have a COVID unit here, we were a dedicated COVID hospital for the first wave, which for almost 9 months time, and we saw around 700 plus deaths and in the first wave, and uh, 99% of the deaths happen in ICU, and nursing officers, senior nursing officers, or assistant nursing superintendents were posted in the hospital and ICUs mainly. Because after initially, after 1 month, we realized there is a need for at least a psychological support for these people, because we have created a group which is called as just ventilation, where people can just speak once you leave the hospital, because and many of the nurses were expressing explicitly that after going home after a full night duty where you have seen more than 7 to 8 deaths back to back, and you go home, you are unable to relax or sleep, eat and sleep. So it's a very emotionally draining, or emotionally you get emotionally drained at the end of the shift in many of the high demanding areas of a nurse's work. So it's not only for the hospital, even in a college, even in public health setting. In public health setting, a pandemic is one of the most demanding disasters in the public health setting. So even I don't have any data to prove how they are doing at the public health nurses who are working in the field. So, but of course, they are all emotionally drained at the moment. So one thing I just want to say is, for a nurse, there is something called an emotional stability. You have to be emotionally very stable. It is not like you got a negative review from somebody, and a negative reviews to some extent acts as it's good, because initial period, once you are starting and you get a negative review from somebody, or somebody said this is not how it is done, and this is not the way it is done, you have to do it this way. So it is many times what I have seen is we take it very personally. Any negative review which is given to you, it is not on you as a person, it is something which you have done, and somebody has given you a correction, and that is a good thing, and you have to improve. So because if there is a scope of improvement, and you don't have to emotionally react at the same time saying, or many times I have seen people getting emotional and many people starting to cry. That is something which is not uh, expected out of being a nurse, and you have to be emotionally very stable, you have to be strong. If you are not emotionally strong, you are not emotionally stable, how are you going to help out a patient who is an emotional, and finally you are not stable? You have to be stable first to care of the patients who are almost most of them requires an emotional support. So what I mean to say here is, one thing is your physical stamina, physical health, and the second is an emotional stability, and you need to have that within you, which you have to create. So another thing is where I think they have taught you nursing foundation. I think most of the classes must have been over by now, and one of the topic they might have talked about is code of ethics, and many, like, you might have had code of ethics. So just not about the code of ethics, there is about ethics, and as a nurse, many times you may, if you are walking alone, and you may not have any guiding persons with you, because of course many places there might be one nurse available for duty. Most of the time you have a senior whom you should seek help from, but at the same time there is something called what is ethics. Is simply, it is not very complex, what is right and what is wrong, and this is talking about a hospital setting. So if you are doing something, many times you have, if I'm talking about myself, if I'm going to do something or not going to do something, you know whether it is you are right or wrong. So you have to ask yourself first whether you are doing it right or wrong. At the same time, you have to also remember there is the other person who you treat as a client or a patient is on your mercy, and you are expected to follow the ethical principles, whatever is being applicable to that particular situation. So why I am saying this is it is a self analysis where you are going to see whether you have done it right or whatever you have not done, your action of not doing it, was it right? Or you are doing it this way, was it right? So you have to be sure whether you are doing it the right way. So that's about ethics. So, and that's all some of the few points which I thought I'll just share with you what helps you coming up, because you are the future of nursing. And I'm not saying I'm going to retire soon, but still you are the future. And so I just wanted to make very clear some of the points, and few of the points I think if some of you are able to remember, and it will be very good. So I thought I'll share those with you. The another is about your BSc nursing, the program which you have undergone. And BSc nursing, it is not that you have to remain exclusively in a hospital nursing or anything. It has abundant scope. And once I came out of the college, my first and foremost aim at that time was to do masters, and I could do it after, because that time you need 2 years of experience to do masters. Of course, I did masters after 2 years of working as a tutor, and then after masters or even before masters, I wanted to do masters in nursing itself. Not that there are other options. If you would like to, these days, if you would like to do a masters in public health, of course, MPH, there is a program which is mainly a public health program, which is MPH, and which, of course, a BSc nursing candidate can apply, and you are eligible to apply for going into Master of Public Health. And there are many other options where if you would like to have a byline career apart from direct nursing care, you can have different job opportunities as well. If an MPH Master of Public Health is these days, I think few people are preferring to do masters in public health, because it's a good option where you get employment opportunities in WHO, UNICEF, and international organizations. So that is one thing. So, and there are other options for doing your job. In case of after once you finish of BSc nursing, you can have many organizations doing direct clinical jobs, and or doing public health jobs, or even having nursing positions which are created in I think even in almost all the airports we have a health authority in airports. And I have done my training of yellow fever vaccination at Airport Health Authority of Mumbai a few years back. So you have nursing positions in many of the places, and that's why initially itself I said you have done an excellent choice, which I think you will realize once you pass out. That's about the immediate scope. And I think while you continue for 4 years, you will come to know many other options. And of course, there is the untold opportunity of going abroad in almost all the places. So these once I passed out, that was the time when people were uh, all the prime area people who used to move was US at the time. And even I did my NCLEX RL and got registered for state of California in 2007 to 2011. I got registered, but I never thought of kind of made up my mind to leave and go. And then, so that is also an option. And many of my classmates, they're doing wonderful job, and they are all very happy. And I think other options you can have many options. I don't know. I think Madam Lina might be remembering. I had a classmate. Her name is Uma Maheshwari, and she was there in her batch, and she did hospital administration soon after BSc nursing. She did Master of Hospital Administration from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. So, and then she moved to UK, and now recently she has applied for, she is, of course, she owns a company and she's an entrepreneur, and she's working in UK. She runs her own company, and recently she may be out of curiosity, or she wanted to do a rapid track medicine that is equivalent to an MBBS degree from Oxford, and she has applied, and there was some reference which has to be given, and I got to write a reference material for her. Then only I asked her what is it, and she said it's a fast track medicine program which you can take out the credit of the previous courses, and then you can apply. And I think it takes only 2 years to complete, and you will have a degree of medicine from the University of Oxford. So there are so many options. Of course, you should read up. That's why I said you have to have a desire to learn. Learning is not just your subject; it could be of anything else. So, and another thing I just wanted to talk about is maybe the they just read out my biodata, but some of the things which I just want to say is from my experience, you look for a career wherever it is, and don't, there is nothing like you stick to many times what happens. I belong to Kerala. I studied nursing from Coimbatore. Then I did my master's from Delhi. I worked in Haryana for 8 years. Then right now I am in Bihar since past almost 9 years now. And for a year I was away to Indian Nursing Council as a secretary. So you have to take up challenges if you are being hesitant, because when you get an opportunity, or that's a good opportunity, and many times few of the jobs which are available, it could be different. And if you are able to take up challenges and work on it, and you should very well go for it, and it again helps you. At the same time, the exposure which it gives will help you finally uh, have, or you will be able to acquire many skills which you would not have done. What happened, I was still, I must be maybe it was almost a year back now. These days we don't have time to sit and daydream or think. So I was thinking what would have happened if I had not opted for to come out of either Tamil Nadu or Kerala and stayed back there, and without doing a master's, or what would have happened. So it is not, the world is yours, and once you are free to move around, and you go for the career, and you always should have a focused aim, rather than going 3-4 directions at the same time. You have to focus on something. So you have to focus on what you could be the best possible option for you, because nobody else knows you better than you yourself. So that's about it. And many of the time I was actually, one more thing I just wanted to tell you. In the college, I think not many of the teachers who taught me are not here in there, except few like Madam Leela Francis and Madam Jayasuda, and I don't think anybody else is left there. So one of the time was we felt it very during the college time. We thought when this course will get over and when we will be free. So that is. It is a student thing. You will also feel the same thing. And but once I came out of the college, and when I started working at a place, and there were graduates from other colleges, and I was able to realize there is something which is very different in Europe than many of the places, and I was very confident. That is something which maybe that is one point which I missed saying. You have to be very confident. So I was very confident that working or putting into any department or anywhere to go and work. So I was not very scared or going and asking, "Mujhe, please change me from this place to this place." No, I don't. So I was very confident that way, and I thought many of the times that could have been the basic education, but we got from the college. Of course, many times as a student, you find it very unbearable because the teachers are strict on you. Maybe I am sure after 20 years now, the teachers are not that strict on you, but because I see myself as a teacher seeing the students here, so I am not very strict to them. So I know they may not be that strict as what they were with us. So why I'm saying this is you develop your confidence in working in almost any other places, and that's about that's going to help you a lot, I think, throughout. So, and I think one of the other thing which helped me was maybe confidence was one thing, and I think subject knowledge also helped a lot, because I did not do much of preparation for my postgraduate entrance examination, and I did that from Rajkumari Amritkar College of Nursing. At that time, we had very few MSc nursing colleges, and we had one at RK and one CMC Vellore, and I think after that year, some of the places they started MSc nursing. So subject knowledge was I did a pretty good job, but you have to. And one thing is, if the teachers are saying something, this is an advice to the students. And if the teachers are saying something, you just pay more clear-cut attention to them, because they have seen more world than you. So even I say the same thing to my students here, even though I don't have much of the interaction with my undergraduate students here. So that's about it. And I think if any of you would like to have maybe some questions, or no, I would like to take any questions if you have.
No, sir.
Students, if you have, this is a time to, you can interact with Professor Ratish.
You are free to ask me.
As you heard from
You
him, he has climbed
have
up to a
you can.
pinnacle, and then he will be able to, yes, he'll be able to share or guide. If you have any clarifications, please open up.
No, ma'am.
I think that
No, ma'am.
it goes either way. They agree to whatever I say, or they don't agree to anything.
We agree, you, sir.
I don't, ma'am. Do we have any other teachers who were present at the time when we were there? No. Other than you, I don't think anybody is there.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Even Malar and Tamiselvi also, they left.
Yeah. I think Madam Tamil
2019
Selvi.
they left. Malar is in Amity, sorry, Tamil Selvi is in Amity University.
Amity, I
Malar
know
is,
she's in Amity.
she has come back from Gulf.
Okay.
Do you still have contact with Leelama, ma'am?
Ma'am, I don't have
Any
contact,
idea about
but
Leelama, ma'am?
I think I talked to her somewhere around 3 years back. 3 years back, this is in 2018, I was in Kerala. AIMS entrance duty, and I had gone to Thrissur. Then I did meet Madam Shirley in Thrissur, and Madam Shirley Prakash.
Yeah, she's in contact with. Glad he spoke.
Yes,
Shirley Pam calls me regularly. Glad he spoke to me a couple of days back.
Okay, and they both were in West Fort.
Glad is nice.
Gladys.
Yeah, they both are there.
They both are there. I met both of them there. I think this is in
Nice
18 or 17.
Oh.
Yes.
Still there. Still both of them are there.
Okay.
Any contact with Reggie Mole and Anu Manuel?
No, ma'am. No. I think there was a Madam Shantam Sweet Rose, where is she? And I think I saw her name somewhere in a college, somewhere in
She's in
Tamil
Trichy.
Nadu. Trichy, okay. I saw her
Trichy.
name
She's in
in
Trichy. She's
okay,
SRM. She's with SRM.
okay. Madam Lata, of course, we meet very often. She has come to Delhi, so Madam Lata Venkatesh.
Yeah, she's there in Delhi.
She is in
Delhi.
Delhi, AIMS, so I met her
Yeah.
2-3 months. We had a meeting in Delhi, and she was also there in the meeting. So I met her.
Oh, okay. With her, I have regular contact.
Okay.
Regular contact.
Okay. I think
Because
there was.
I did my PhD from Apollo. So she was the one.
Okay.
Because she was the one who pushed me up for both for MSc and for a PhD. So I did it.
Okay, and ma'am, I think you remember there was in our time there was a clinical instructor, Angeline Mary Sheila. Do you remember? No.
Angeline Mary Sheila. No, I have no contact. Maybe I would have joined later than that.
No, I think they were on the same. She is in Jibbar Pondicherry.
Oh,
She is in Jibbar. I talked to her a few months back. I think last November.
oh, great. Okay. Dear students, you have any clarifications?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Anisha?
Yes, ma'am. So I take up this opportunity,
Anisha?
ma'am. Okay, I take this opportunity to thank our principal, ma'am, and also I really thank Professor Leena, ma'am. And I thank you, sir, for the wonderful and motivating speech to our students. Really, our students got motivated by your speech, and it was really a wonderful session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And I think earlier I used to visit once in a while, come to college maybe for a day when we had a lot of free time initially. Whenever I used to go home, maybe in Kerala, I used to come for one day to college
We are
and just
waiting for you.
and it's been a long time, and it was great, at least even if it's online, to have an interaction. And I'm really glad, and I hope we will be able to see. I'll be able to come and see you all soon. Thank you, and take care, and stay safe, all of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear students. Thank you, Anisha. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.